Hello everybody. Well, today you find me in my Mazda B2500 truck, just taking out a security device and I'm going to show you what's going on, because we've got a bit of a job to do, and I'm hoping I'm right in my deduction. So we're having problems starting. Let's see if we can get it going. I hope so, because I've got places to go. Are you ready? Right, I'm going to give her another session of glow plugs. I'll explain why in a minute. Right, she's running, but as you can hear, she's a bit lumpy. Quite a lot lumpy if you were sat on. Giving it that. Oh, nearly missed a beat then. Right, I'm going to put some revs on. Fuck me, she's smoking white. I hope this isn't because I'm burning oil. No, it isn't. It'll clear up in a minute. I'm being over dramatic. Well, I've just got a few revs on. What I'm trying to do is just put a tiny bit of warmth back in the engine. Again, I'll explain why in a minute. Right, I've taken my foot off the gas, a lot smoother. So what I think's happening here is, when I got this engine, I noticed 3 of the glow plugs are new. One of them's been sheared off in the block. So there's at least one cylinder that's not getting any preheat, and that could be could be causing the problem. The other thing is, a lot of people buy cheaper equipment from places like eBay, and I get it, you've got to work to the budget you've got, but the trouble is some of this cheaper equipment is crap. It's just shit, right? Oh look, I found these, you know, genuine ones are like 300 quid for a set, and I found these at £4.50. There's a reason they're £4.50. That's because they're shit. So I don't know what I've got in this engine. I do, however, know that the old engine started fantastically. So job today, see if we can get the glow plugs out of the engine, have a recce on what we've got in this engine, and then probably end up looking at and buying a glow plug removal tool. Sounds easy, doesn't it? If we get time this weekend. Also, I want to get some glass in my greenhouse, because it's getting up time to put some special seeds, not drugs, but some special seeds in. So got a quick drop off to do. Let's get going. I'm very excited. I love driving this truck. Catch you in a bit. Right, that's the drop off done. Let's head off to the barn. You know, driving this truck never gets old. It's got a very short gearbox. What that means is I'm doing 20 miles an hour and I'm in the 3rd gear. It's only got 5. 4th gear, 35 miles an hour. Now this will do 70, 80 down the motorway. You might even squeeze 90 out of it, but why? You know, legally in the UK, on a single carriageway national speed limit road, I can only do 50. On a dual carriageway, I can only do 60, and I can do 70 on a motorway. Sorry, I'm just fucking loving this. So really, speed isn't a thing, and I didn't buy this to be fast. You know, I've got bikes that'll do twice, 3 times what this will do. And to be honest, I can't afford another engine. But just purring like a kitten, well, like a diesel. Now, obviously, I'm running this whole vehicle back in. I'm taking it easy. I'm not over revving it. One of the big problems is, well, not problem, one of the things to get used to is that the turbo doesn't really cut in until about 2000. and for a lot of time I'm running below that or just on that turbo line. So it's very easy sometimes to put your foot down and think, oh god, this thing's sluggish. It isn't. It's just that I'm running it in that eco area and being nice to the environment and all that good shit. So yeah, well, I'm going to turn the camera off, save a bit of space, but I just thought, I'm sure you can hear my little engine, I just thought you might want to see the thing actually drive. Alright, catch you in a bit. So we're starting to have a look at the broken engine at its glow plug. So what we've got is here, you can see the terminal, where the electricity goes for the glow plugs, and they're connected together. 1, 2, 3, one up this end, up 4, by this long metal strap, and then the power to the glow plugs goes onto this bolt here. So the first thing we're going to do, undo those 4 nuts and get rid of that metal bar, and then we can see the glow plugs proper. Right, that's the screw out. So let's see if I can show you as much of what a glow plug looks like. So this little, get my hand out of the way, get some focus. This is the glow plug, and they're thin, they're fragile, so now I'm going to get a socket, I'm going to try and remove all 4 of them. I would imagine there's a good chance some of these will break, but we've got to give it a go. So the first one came out pretty easy actually. I'm not sure, I'm probably still asleep and this is all a crazy dream. So what have we got here? So you've got an outer steel jacket. That's this bit in the middle with the thread. Okay, and that's what obviously fixes the whole thing into the engine. Then right the way through the middle, you've got probably a steel body and then a ceramic heater, or it could be a steel heater. And the idea is when you put electricity on this end, it conducts through the tip, through into the body and back to earth. So you get a circuit, and this tip glows red hot. We're going to have a look at that in a minute if I'm brave enough to do it on the bench, but I mean red hot, okay? And when the diesel fuel is sprayed into the engine, it hits this, and that heat helps the diesel fuel combust. So, with that combustion, it's a way of getting the engine started when it's cold. Normally just the pressure that the diesel's under will help it explode, but when it's cold, you know, it's a bit sluggish. So this is what we've got to work with. Let's go and get the other 3. So there you go, we got all 4 out. They all came out really easy. Now don't forget, these are the ones out of the engine that destroyed itself. Nothing to do with the glow plugs. I'm happy they all worked. The engine used to start beautifully. So the next thing to do is, I guess, go and have a look at the broken one in the current running engine and see if we can get that out and see where we go from there. So why do we call a glow plug a glow plug? Let me show you how you test these. Battery lead onto a negative of the battery, glow plug held in the other lead, and then just touch that on the positive terminal, and if they're good, you see the smoke and you see that glow. So that's what happens in the engine. When the diesel hits that, it combusts. That's one good one. I've already tested one of the others. So these are the ones, don't forget, out of the engine that killed itself. There we go, that's smoking. And when you take the power off, you can see they stay hot for quite a while. You won't want to pick that up accidentally. Check the last one. Smells good. There you go, 4 totally acceptable glow plugs. Right, so we need to get the truck in. I don't want to work out there. It's a shitty day. The rain's hossing it down. Can't really see, but it's damp. So we just had a break in the weather. I'm going to get the big doors open, and then we can get the truck in. So why don't you just settle down there while I start doing this stuff. Right, so truck's in, and what I'm going to try and show you is this is the metal rail that brings the power. Now unfortunately it's not going to focus. If I can get it a bit better, and you can see that rusty bit, that was the glow plug. So we've got to try and get that out, and it's snapped pretty far down, so I'm going to try and drill it. So the first thing I'm going to do is undo the power rail and take the whole, this whole rail out so I can get into it. Right, I'm going to try and show you a bit more clearly what's going on here. Just bear with me, let's bring that right in. So there is the offending article, and that's cut right down near the block. Near the head. So I'm trying to whack it round, actually, just using a punch. There's not a lot else I can do. I've tried drilling it. The centre core, which is a bit old, need to drill out a little bit to get an ease-me out or something in. That's damn hard. That's really hard. So it's probably tungsten. Yeah, not sure if I'm ever going to get this out without taking it to an engineer in place, but I'm going to persevere a bit. I've also swapped 2 of the glow plugs. The third one didn't really want to come out, but the glow plugs that have come out of it are NJK. They're a good brand. I trust them. I'm presuming 3 are working, 1 isn't, which is why it starts and carries on running quite happily, because it's running on 3 cylinders. But I'm going to persevere. Let's see where we go. Okay, so this is where we are now. First attempt at welding a nut off, just sheared. So what I'm doing is I've done another one, and I've put the socket on the nut, because what's going to happen is the Because what's going to happen is that socket's going to start to draw some of the heat off the nut, and it's going to let it cool down a little bit slower, because I think the metal that the heater element's made out of, which is basically what I'm welding onto, I think it's going to be very brittle. I've looked at the sort of things that they use, nickel chrome. They can use tungsten, but it's unlikely. Some of them are ceramic, but this does actually weld. So I'm hoping that with that cooler transition, the slower, cool down process, we'll just see what happens. But I am shitting myself. To be honest, I think this is going to fail. I got one chance, it comes out. If not, I'm going to have to go to an expert and say, sort it out for me, and that's going to cost bucks. But if this does work, lucky Mark. Well, we'll see in a minute, won't we? Oh, very exciting. Okay, well, as you can imagine, that didn't work out quite the way I thought. Zoom in a bit. Whatever the core is just too brittle. I've put a lot of heat into it. It's not made any difference. So where are we now? Well, the really handy thing is, where before it was a right bloody mess, if I can drop the camera a bit, you can see that that's actually quite flush now. So I'm reckoning I might be able to drill it out with the right kind of drill bit. It's got to be hard, but this is what we do. And if I can drill the centre core out enough, I'm hoping I can bring that out with an ease me out. Yeah. So I guess that's what I'm looking at doing next. Happy days. I don't know if you'll be able to see it clearly, but there's sort of like a little shiny round spot in the middle of that injector. Well, that's about as much damage as my tungsten carbide tipped drill, which is specially designed to drill hard metal, could do in 5 minutes. These are hard, very, very hard. And that's it. That's as far as I've got. So I'm going to put everything back together, and I'm going to have to do some learning and try and figure out just how the hell I'm going to get that out. But what it might eventually mean is the cylinder head's got to has got to come off, and it's got to be professionally machined, which would be a real shitter. But it starts on 3. If that's it, that's it. I need my truck.